There's been so many big unification and undisputed fights in 2023. We end the year with a cracker. This one, WBO and IBF flyweight titles on the line. Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Sonny Edwards. For me, number 1 versus number 2.
16th of December, Arizona, we go to work.
Jesse Rodriguez against Sonny Edwards is just a fantastic fight.
You now have one piece of the 112-pound crown. What do you want to do next?
Sonny Edwards, that's the only option.
I want to see an undisputed champion in the flyweight division.
Sign the contract.
Bam Rodriguez is probably the biggest puncher in the division.
That's the reason he signed with Matchroom and with DAZN.
I think this is genuinely as elite can get.
The big unification to come against Jesse Rodriguez.
He's going to have to be switched on to every single second of every single round.
Bam Rodriguez, where are you?
Rodriguez putting on the performance of a lifetime! Oh, lovely long left hook. All in. Sink or swim.
This one of the best fights of the year, pound for pound.
Darren Barker, Barry Jones to discuss this one. Big fight.
Yeah, we might as well let Barry talk.
Barry, this is
Barry's fight.
Come over here. Come over here.
I'm not really that interested in it, to be honest. I've been walking around like it's close to Christmas. This is my Christmas present come early. I've been a massive fan of both. Like I watched Sonny from early in his career. I remember when he beat Ryan Farrag, and that night I was doing the commentary that night in the York Hall, and I just went, "This kid's special." Like,
really?
And then I thought, he's got world champion written all over him.
It's funny though, because Charlie was the one that was in front, wasn't it? It was Charlie the one that everyone thought, okay, he might go places, and Sonny was in the background, not getting the opportunities, and all of a sudden...
Well, Charlie did go places, that's why.
So
it was warranted, but I mean, Sonny the things he did, Ryan Farrag then was a really good fighter, and he played with him. I mean, he literally did, and I thought, what? This is a test for this kid. And he walked in there, like he was just going to the shop to buy.
He does that. He
He walked in, and there was no stress on him. I very rarely see a fighter box with no stress at all. And he's one of those. That's why he's so free. So he's so confident. He's just once he gets through the ropes, all that pressure disappears. Then he just performs. He doesn't fight. He performs. And he was brilliant. And I thought, this is a kid. And then when I got to see first time I got to see Bam.
So good. Yeah.
So I watched a Bam fight, which is 36 minutes. It took me about 3 hours to watch it. Stop and rewind it. What do you do that? Stop and rewind it. I missed that. I missed all the movements he makes. He spins around the target. I always talk about that.
You know what it is though? He doesn't
just spin around the target. There's like 4 movements to get there.
I think, and I was speaking to Pete McGrail about this as well, I think a lot of these younger fighters now have grown up watching Lomachenko. Yeah. And they've all started trying to do what he does. And they're doing it. McGrail does it, obviously Bam certainly does it. And I feel like that's what they've grown up and watched. And I think Bam's sensational. I really do. I think Sonny's incredible. The thing about Sonny makes me laugh. Sorry to keep going all over the place with this one. I don't think I've seen a more confident boxer ever. I mean, Chris Eubank Jr.'s got that, kind of walks around like he owns them. But Sonny...
Like a Naz?
I mean, Naz, very. Like,
Naz is still confident, no. I spoke to him always, I've got to go back and digress a bit. I was in Poland, I spoke to his son.
Yeah.
I said, you nervous? He went, why would you say, like, nervous? What do you want? He's like, that word don't exist. What are you talking about? He was like,
that's Sonny. Honestly, that's Sonny. Yeah, like, we've all seen Sonny out recently at events, and I'm like, dude, why are you not in training camp? Like, why are you here? And he's like, what's the problem?
So confident, so confident, and very disciplined in his approach to a fight. He doesn't get drawn in or dragged in to his opponent's way of fighting. He'll just do what he does best. And look, we know he's a very good mover. In his last fight against Campos, though it wasn't his best performance.
Got caught a few times on the ropes.
I think he was just a little lazy. He wasn't switched on as much as he will be in this fight. But there was a stage, because I commentated on that fight, and when he goes through the gears, he's a joy to watch. He really is. I think for him, technically and tactically in this fight, I think he's got to try and frustrate Bam. But Bam, like you said, I mean, the angles that he creates, and you know, you mentioned fighters there want to mirror Lomachenko. Well, what style to mirror? Yeah. I mean, because he's been so successful as an amateur and a professional. And look, your target, boxing is to be bad and good, there's not much. There's not much you can actually do. You've got 2 arms, 2 feet, you know, there's not a great deal you can do. Your target's in front of you, so how can you find more openings? Skip round side to side. And I think fighters are understanding that. If you've got target in front of you, you can create more openings by stepping left and right. Bam does it so well.
Who's got the better feet of these two?
Oh, I mean...
Who's got the better feet? Because both of them have really good feet. Like, you watch them, you could just literally watch the bottom half of a video of those two instead of the top half.
It depends on feet for what. I think the direct approach is Bam every day of the week, because he commits with his footwork. It's always an offensive move, never defensive, always offensive. So he's looking to get him on the target to hit you. So like I said before, when it looks like he's just going here, but he almost takes a little stutter step before he slides in and then turns. Yeah. Like, how would you do that? One, how would you do it? And one, but when you're young, like, and I went to World title at 23, so I was only young, and I turned pro at 18. You rush your work, exuberance of youth. You rush. When you get older, you slow down. You realise. So a lot of fighters don't get it. He's got it. He makes those fast movements, but he takes enough time to get purchased on the shots. So like say, we'd all move fast. I used to go brrr and move. I'd feint so fast, no one would see it. It was a wasted movement. It was too fast. He slows everything down, but gets it right. So he's fast enough that you can read what he's doing, but enough time to make sure he gets weight in every punch, because he does punch.
And on the flip side, with Sonny, he can make you look silly with his footwork. He'll feint with his feet. So he'll dart one way and then go the other way, and you can literally fall into the ropes. He can make you look silly. Whereas I think on attack, Bam's far more effective with those creating angles. He's very proactive on the front foot, always looking to lead. He kind of ignores what the opponents do. And I think sometimes that can be detrimental to some fighters, but also it can be a very good asset where you're going in there with a mindset, seek and destroy. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Let you react to me. I'm going to be proactive. I'm going to go and, you know, grab this fight by the scruff of the neck. And he does that so well. He's so aggressive with those feet. Doesn't matter who he's fighting. I mean, against Rungvisai, you know, big punching. He's on the front foot, you know, making him feel silly. And I think also, we've seen Sonny at times switch. I think he's got to stay orthodox in this fight. I don't think he should be switching to southpaw. I think though stylistically different, when Bam fought Rungvisai, he just couldn't miss. He could not miss. And I just feel Sonny throws the straight 1-2 so well. From the orthodox stance, he's an orthodox, but when he throws the 1-2, he's very dangerous with that right hand at times, with the speed and accuracy. Not the biggest puncher, but very accurate with it. I don't think he should switch too much.
But also with that, because Bam is a southpaw, that allows him, his best movement is to get that foot and spin around this target, and that'll help him. If Sonny stays orthodox, he's there for this. That I think is Bam's best shot, that straight left down the middle. This is a fight for me.
And his jab as well, his jab. I think against Rungvisai, he was allowed to establish the jab because they were different stances. So they would just, they were both southpaws, so he was able to establish his jab through. It's a little hard to get your jab over the lead hand. If you're an orthodox fighter in the southpaw, you've got to try and get over it slightly. Against Rungvisai, he was just finding the target every time with a jab.
I think this is a fight where both of them could massively dominate. Sonny could just give him fits. Every time Bam makes a movement, Sonny goes, whoa, see you later, I'm gone. And it frustrates it. And then he hits you on the spin, Sonny, as well. So you're going to be a nightmare. Or Bam could go right through him. Right through him. Where Sonny squares up on the ropes, like you said, and there's to change. Sonny squares up on the ropes, and it's the worst thing to do, but for him, it gives him so many options. Good
lateral movement, though. He can do it because he can go that way and that way.
Yeah, it gives him the option, Sonny's very reactive. He'll react, I don't know what I'm doing there, but I'm putting myself in a position to do a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. Imagine having that in your arsenal. I put myself in a position to do a number of things, not just 1 or 2 things. And he'll wait till how you react, and then he goes. If he does that against Bam, I think he'll struggle. So as much as what I think of this fight is what they both do well might not work for them. And that's going to be the issue. Who copes with that? You tend to think that would be Sonny because he seems the more adaptable fighter because he can do more things. But I think because he's more conformative in his stance, in his style, Bam, he can just soldier through with doing what we've learned from it. Where Sonny, if what he does well doesn't work, he might be lost for the first time in his career.
What about the moment? I know Sonny's super confident, but this is the biggest moment of his career. With Bam, we've seen him against Rungvisai, as you say, big fight, Quadrados, big fight, co-main event for Canelo, versus Bivol, I think it was, against Israel Gonzalez. So he's been in big moments, Bam, at such a young age. Sonny, Mariti was a big fight, but it was quite a small show.
I think he lives for the big moments. I'll be very shocked if he crumbles under pressure here. From what I've seen, speaking to him away from camera, behind the scenes, he's desperate to show he's the number one out there. I'll be...
Is he not the number one flyweight? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Bam, Superfly, wasn't it? All those big fights. And then before that was Junior Fly.
Sonny's number one.
Sonny's number one, isn't he?
Yeah, he has to be, I think. But it is number one, number two. The Ring magazine should be on the line, I think.
Julio Cesar Martinez says no.
There's a lot of debate about that, but I do think these two are for me. I think they're the two most talented for sure. Whether they're number one or two, which that's but they're two most talented. I think it's the perfect fight to find out who is clearly the best. There's a lot of jeopardy in this fight for Sonny that hasn't been before. But I think it's going to sound when he's boxing, he's so self-absorbed, self-obsessed about himself that I don't think he'll get over Alderboy.
All right, I'm going to play, like, build the fighter for me, if you can, right? With Sonny and Bam, and you tell me who's got what. So let's start feet first. Who's got the better feet?
Oh, but
no fence sitting. Who's got the better feet?
Sonny. I love Bam's feet on the target, but I think Sonny does more with his feet than Bam does.
That's like, you know, playing top trumps and they're just the same. You know, they're the same. It's the same score, because I think, as good as Sonny is on the back foot with his feet, Bam's very good on the front foot, creating them angles. I can't split them. I can't split them.
Hand speed.
Oh, see, this
is why it's such a great fight.
This is why it's a great fight.
Sonny again.
Maybe lean towards Sonny. Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, Sonny, power.
Bam.
That's the easiest way,
isn't it? Bam. Ring IQ.
Again, both in their way of fighting, it's exceptionally high. But I will say, like Barry said there, I think Bam may have a few more tricks up his sleeve as opposed to Sonny. If Sonny's style of fighting doesn't work, I'm not 100% sure he would be able to. That I'm not 100% sure he could make me look silly, but we know that Bam can do that. We know he can fight in a number of different ways.
I would say that, this is going to sound crazy, people are going to go, what? I think Bam has better timing.
No, I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's crazy.
Sonny's timing is impeccable, but I think he has better timing. Again, I talk about how he makes the movements, but still make sure that he grounds himself for purchasing the punches. So things like that, Sonny's not going to be used to. It's a very difficult one. It's a brilliant fight because you are literally, as you're talking about it, you're sort of arguing with yourself about why that will work or won't work.
You just asked Barry for a prediction, right? Leave me out of this. Just ask Barry, right?
It's a tough one. It is a tough one, but this is what we want, right? We want those kind of 50-50 fights. Again, unification. It should be tough. That's who wins.
Do you know what? I'm going to say that Sonny boxes to an absolute disciplined performance and just nicks it.
If he just nicks it, he loses it then. If he just nicks it, he's not going to get a decision, I don't think, away.
I go the other way. And I can't believe I'm going against Sonny. He's one of my favourite fighters. But I just think he might come up against something he hasn't before.
Yeah.
I think the stuff he does well might not quite work with Bam. And with Bam can, because more importantly, I think it's when he puts himself on the rope, when Bam advances, he doesn't stand right in front of you. Sonny banks on that to work around your body, and I think Bam's going to be on this side. Sonny's going to have to adapt, and there won't always be an escape route, by the way, because Bam does follow you as well, and I think that might be the difference. I think just the purchasing the punches when they in the exchanges, I think Bam.
Something tells me that Sonny's going to have to somehow dent Bam as Bam comes onto, because I think Bam will be there for 12 rounds regardless, and he doesn't have that.
But he doesn't care. He don't care. He'll just keep doing the same
thing. But that
then
for me means that Bam will always be on his chest and happy to stay in that distance. If nothing can.
I mean, Bam's going to be asking himself question upon question every round, because that on your chest is not going to happen.
And will Bam be thinking about the fact his last fight he broke his jaw? Will that be in the back of his mind as well? The broken jaw.
Preparation.
He may do, but I think let's not forget he went half the fight with a broken jaw.
Yeah.
and tried to fight the same. He wasn't as effective. He tried to fight the same. So I do think, there might be a worry of that, but that should be in training camp. I think. So he has to commit. He knows he can't do nothing but try and advance on the target. It's just stopping the feet, the footwork of the escape. You've got to just give Sonny no escape moves, make him fight. What Sonny does have, he's tenacious. People don't see that in him, but he is tenacious. So when Bam gets him and he starts working away with the heavier shots, that's what we think, and good timing, Sonny will rally. So he might be just muddling the work of Bam by throwing 15 punches. And sometimes when you can't find the escape route with your feet, you have to rally with your hands. Ray Leonard used to do it so well. He'd rally with his hands, and that stopped you till he can get away. And that's what Sonny's going to have to work on. Always keeping that space, but between him and the ropes. Always trying to dominate that space between him and Bam. It's just a great fight.
Are you flying out for it?
I'll swim out. If
You'll swim out.
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm going.
Options. He'll swim out. So we're going Bam, just Sonny, just. That's a fence. I'm right there. December the 16th, live on DAZN, unification fight we've been waiting for quite a while. Finally happens. WBO and IBF flyweight titles on the line. Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Sonny Edwards, 50-50 fight.